This is going to be your weekly tarot and oracle forecast. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies for the upcoming week, break it down day by day, and let you know how to navigate. So as I'm filming this, it is Sunday, April 28th, late morning, just sort of sitting here in my energy, taking it all in. You know, I think that this is a time of rest and rejuvenation after the full moon in Scorpio that we had last week. You know, I'm really curious to hear how you're feeling. What's the word of the day or the week? Where are things at for you currently? This is a time of such transformative change, and it's taking a toll on a lot of people. A lot of energy is being spent. But it is necessary to get ourselves to the next level. You know, I talk about that all the time. We have to be really open for the new energy to come in. And it's tough. It's tough to release the old stuff. So, you know, the other day in the relationship reading that I did, I was asking, like, what have you been releasing? Like, what have you been letting go? What's something that you've made, you know, a mission to address or let go of? So as usual, I would ask you, let me know in the comments. I really enjoy knowing how you're feeling and how you're doing. It's important to me. So what we're going to do is take some overall themes and messages for this week just to kind of see where we're at. Now, I will mention that Venus is moving into Taurus, where it's extremely comfortable. It's really nice, sweet, romantic energy, and it's going to be there for the next few weeks. So you might be feeling those lovey vibes, and I'm here for it. I'm sure all of you are too. That's what we all want, right? We want comfort, we want love, and we want stability. So let's take a look at the overall theme here with this deck. And we have Whale Song resonating. What are you resonating with right now? What's something that you're really into at the moment? You know, is it a book? Is it sports? Is it a hobby? What is it? What's right now really resonating with you? You know, for me, I love reading astrology. I love reading human design. I'm really into Survivor right now. That's what's resonating with me. The show Survivor. I'm watching all the old episodes or old seasons, and it's been really nice. For whatever reason, it's bringing me a lot of peace. So I'm curious to know, like, what's resonating with you right now? What's bringing you some peace and harmony? Okay. So let's take a look at what else we need to know for the week. Resurrection. Resonating and resurrection, 2 R's to start us off here. And number 22, something is building, right? And what I love about the lotus flower is that it's something that grows out of the muddiest, murkiest waters and turns into something seriously beautiful. And I mean, look at the color here, the green, the heart chakra. There's something really lovely here, and it feels like that Venus and Taurus energy, you know? So let's see, what else do we need to know? And we have great achievement. Beautiful. You might be going to an event or a party, something celebratory. You know, it's interesting. The other day in the relationship reading, I'm coming back to that energy. There was the 3 of Cups, and in the context of celebration, it's time to celebrate. And I kind of feel that still is in this energy as well. It is time to celebrate. It's time to enjoy life. You know, so let's put these cards to the side and kind of keep an eye on them. We'll make note if we need them in relation to cards that come out for the week. But let's see what we need to know. So we're going to go day by day. Let's start with Monday. What do we need to know about Monday? Be like your spirit guide. You know, when I look at this card, I think of flight, taking flight. You know, again, what are you resonating with right now? What new beginning are you looking forward to? What's something that you're really looking forward to right now? See, I'm filled with questions lately. I just want to know how you're doing, what you're feeling, what you're striving for. Be like your spirit guide. How many of you have been getting a lot of signs and synchronicities lately? You know, where you feel like everything around you is signaling a new beginning. It also signals tests as well. You know, I always ask, are you in the old? Are you in the new? And let's take a look now at Tuesday. And we have carry the torch for others to see, wake up the world. You know, this is not you taking on anyone else's problems or situations or adventures even. It's basically saying, find the spark within yourself so that you can help wake up others. You know, here's the thing that happens a lot in regards to spirituality. You know, and maybe not just spirituality. Maybe I'm, being too specific, but sometimes when we feel so passionately about something, we want to tell the world, right? Like we want to convince everyone around us to follow suit. Do what I'm doing, you'll love it too. And I think that's very, very noble, and that's very kind that you want to share the energy that you love with others. Nothing really wrong with that. But you have to ask the intention behind it, right? Meaning, if you love something, you can control your own environment and hopefully that energy spreads. But you can't tell other people how to think and feel and do, because as I always say, everyone's going to do what they think and feel is best for them. And that's why sometimes we butt heads, with friends and family and maybe even online communities where we want to help people waken up or see things differently. And I would always say that if I can spark myself, maybe that can trickle into other people's lives. I mean, it's kind of like what I do every day here with my readings. I'm so passionate about what I do. I've gone through so many experiences and I love sharing them with all of you. And hopefully the things that I've been through, the things that I feel, influence you in ways that bring you happiness. But you're at your own pace. I can't do it for you. I can't force you. A lot of you tell me that you hear me in your heads when I say, trust the process, or do you want short-term pain, long-term gain, short-term gain, long-term pain, or whatever it is that, I say in my readings. Hopefully that helps you. And then if it sparks something in you, it will continue to help others and grow. So to me, this is an energy that says, spark your light, do what's best for you, and hopefully others will be inspired by that. We can't try to change the world. I always say I can't change the school system, the medical system, the political system, but I can change myself and inspire myself. So hopefully that makes sense. Now let's take a look at Wednesday. What do we need to know here? And we have the light in you can lead the way. That is exactly what I'm saying. So, I think on Tuesday and Wednesday, really Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, there's this inspiration for you to take the lead in your own personal growth and evolution. And if other people follow or engage in that energy, that's a beautiful thing. I want to remind you of something. Energy is contagious, of course. That's why we have the saying, misery loves company. If somebody's in misery, then other people around them will be too, right? If someone's in great energy and happy and positive, that can spread. Even just a smile can lead others to smile, and that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so let's see what's going on Thursday. There's so much more than you think. There's so much more to you than you think. Well, there is so much more than you think, of course. There's always things to learn and do. Pardon me. There is so much more to you than you think. You are more powerful than you even realize. Trust yourself. This is a very deeply internal reading is what I would say. This is really inspiring you to look deep within yourself and your intentions and how you lead your daily life. Oftentimes we put so much energy and effort into other people. I want to know what my person's thinking. I want to know what they're feeling. I want to know what they're doing. And that's great. Sure, we of course want to know how others are doing. But at the same time, I encourage you to put yourself first and then ask the other questions. But always put yourself first. And let's take a look at Friday. There we go. These cards are a little tricky. If the world around you seems turbulent, stop. There's really a common theme here in these cards. And I would encourage you, Again, if the energy around you is turbulent and chaotic and miserable, whatever the adjective, ask yourself, do you want to be a part of that? You know, here's a side note. How many of you feel at times that you just don't fit with maybe groups around you, whether that be friends, colleagues, family members, where sometimes it's like you're just different than everybody else. And that's okay to be different, just so you know. Like if the influence around you is not good or not positive, you don't have to engage in it. You can stop it. You have the power to stop it. The issue usually is in regards to boundaries. Most people don't know where to start when it comes to making boundaries. They don't know how to say no. They don't want anyone to be mad at them. They don't want to have the discussion. I mean, who really wants to have the discussion over and over and over again about boundaries? I don't. I don't think you do either. But that is what it takes sometimes. You know, my advice on boundaries is if you have to have the conversation over and over with friends or family or your partner, well, do it until they stop. Right? It takes you to be strong enough to make it stop. You don't have to give up. You don't have to avoid the conversation. It's not your problem. If it's someone else's problem, well, let them own that problem. If they don't like something, well, that's too bad. You know what I mean? So let's take a look at Saturday. What do we need to know about Saturday? Ask your spirit guide. Okay. Well, in the next layer of cards, let's ask. Let's see what that's all about. We're going to clarify that. And on Sunday, we have your spirit guide could lead you, but can't do it for you. Interesting. Wow, what a connection of cards here. I haven't used this deck in a while, and I kind of felt just pulled to it today. We're going to look into that. Next layer. And the sneak peek at the following week. Always in motion. Keep moving forward. I was just reminded of the word emotion, you know, energy in motion, right? So always keep yourself moving forward. Super important. Okay, so let's take a look with the tarot now. I'm so curious. Be like your spirit guide. King of Swords. I love that. Maybe this is telling you to be more in the King of Swords energy. This is telling you to detach. Be cool, calm, collected. Don't react based on those emotions, you know? Keep yourself in check. So very interesting energy to start with. Okay, so on Tuesday, carry the torch for others to see. Wake up the world. You lead the way. Be that example. You know, I always talk about this. I always like to keep myself in the same energy that I would ask you to be in. You know, I can't be in a do as I say, not as I do. I can't tell you to detach and then me not detach. So I take that very seriously, you know, because if I'm an example, then I have to maintain that. We're all human, of course, but Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a bit of conflict. You know, it's a bit of a headache. And sometimes it's a big responsibility to be the light. You know, I talk about this often, actually, that I look at myself at times as someone who anchors the energies, you know, in the sense that I am constantly learning, I'm constantly moving myself forward, I'm teaching, right? And so when I'm in that position, it does take a lot of energy out of me. You know, and so sometimes, yeah, I am tired and I have to recharge. So I fully understand if you're feeling at times that you're tired or you're conflicted about what to do. It's not easy to be someone who is a leader. You know, sometimes it's easier to just follow, but find something. It doesn't have to be that you lead everything in your daily life. You don't have to, but pick something that you feel really passionate about or strongly about and make that your example. You know, I'll give you one of mine. When I was a teacher in the classroom, I always believed that if I walked into the classroom with positive energy and a smile, that would, you know, translate to my students. That would communicate the vibe of the room and keep people in good energy. because if I was in a bad mood, then that would trickle into the classroom and I would feel that in return. And I'm not saying that we have to be happy, happy, joy, joy at every moment, but my point is I'm very mindful of the energy that I bring forward because I want good energy in return. So what I put out is what I get. And it's the same thing here in my readings, or it's the same thing when I'm live on social media. I believe in being in good energy because if I'm in good energy and I'm anchoring that energy, that means I'm sending those vibes to you, right? It's an energy exchange. So some of you may have headaches right now about waking up, ascending, and leading others, but don't put too much stress on yourself. You are a human being. There are going to be good and bad days. There are going to be things you're really passionate about in regards to leading, and some that you may not be so comfortable in, and that's okay. So the light in you can lead the way. Let's see what this is all about. The Seven of Swords. It's so interesting. I've seen the Seven of Swords quite a bit lately, and the Seven of Swords is about living your authentic truth. So sometimes we're afraid to do that. Sometimes we cover ourselves up, we hide because we're afraid of judgment. And I just want to remind you that the people who are your people will be your people. You don't have to worry about that. If somebody's upset with you for making a boundary, you needed one in the first place. If someone is judging you for what you do or what you like, well, that tells you a lot about a person. It says more about them than it does about you. I used to say this all the time about my tarot cards. When I first started reading tarot cards, I was so afraid for people to see them because there's always that judgment about what tarot cards are and what they mean, and when people would come over to my house, I would put them away. I had a crate that I would sort of, put the boxes into and then cover them up and hope that they didn't ask or see them. And it's not a matter of embarrassment. I was never embarrassed of cards or spirituality. It's always been a part of me, but it's almost like you don't want to have the conversation. And that's what I was saying earlier, I've learned that if I have to have the conversation, I'm going to have it. I don't care what someone else thinks about my spirituality or my tarot cards or my love for astrology. If someone doesn't like it, well, okay, don't like it, then don't engage in it. Or you're not my person, or we're not meant to be a fit. That's okay. So I think living one's authentic truth is always so hard because there's that fear of judgment, or other people's opinions, whatever that is. So you don't have to run from who you are. I would say embrace it, But of course, that's easier said than done. It happens in steps. And I noticed it most when I reawakened back in around, 2016, 2017, that it was methodical steps, slowly but surely. I sort of came out of that, that hibernation or that self-preservation where I just started to say, hey, listen, this is what I do. This is what I love to do. I love to read cards. Then I started my social media. At first I was worried about my colleagues seeing me online or my students seeing me online. Now it's like, hey, this is what I do. This is what I love. And it's amazing the response that I've gotten. So many people have said, wow, I'm so happy for you that you're passionate about this. And then there are others who, whatever, they fall to the wayside, and that's okay. So if you've been struggling with living your authentic truth, just keep going, right? Always in motion. And there's so much more to you than you think. Exactly. Let's see. What do we need to know about that? These cards are, 2 cards. You know what? Beautiful. I knew that this was a continuation actually of the relationship reading in a way. There's certain vibes that are coming through. And look at this, the Wheel of Fortune. Look at this ball of energy here, right? This is Jupiter, growth, expansion, and good luck. There are things happening for you, shifting. Such gorgeous energy. And look, there's that 3 of Cups that I mentioned earlier, that celebration. Now, 3 of Cups is known as a card of celebration or a party, an event. We talked about that great achievement card earlier, and that's great. But it can also sometimes, appear to be 2's company, 3's a crowd. If you have interference or a need for boundaries, again, I encourage you always to make the moves that you need to make for you. And I love this. You're going to be celebrating. There's more to you than you think. You're just getting started. Embrace it. Be open to it. I know it's hard, but trust me, the rewards are there. Now, if the world around you seems turbulent, stop. Okay, let's take a look at Friday, what we need to know. And we have Ace of Pentacles. Well, it's time to stop and engage in new energies, because Ace of Pentacles is a tangible new beginning, new home, new job, new relationship. You know, sometimes when we feel that life is difficult, and by the way, look at the coloring. The coloring is actually very similar in the previous card to the tarot card. You know, sparking new energy in your life can be very simple. It could be change your furniture around in your home, sleep on the other side of the bed, change your routine, take a different route to work, whatever it is, try something different to spark new energy in your life. So again, that could be moving somewhere different, like changing your scenery, a new job that brings new experiences, new colleagues, new assignments, new projects, whatever you do. So I think that's really nice. Or even just new relationships. And it doesn't even have to be romantic, but it can be. You know, being around different people or new people, exploring new opportunities, right? So this said, ask your spirit guide. So let's take this and see, what is it that we need to know? 2 cards. You've got to get out of the 5 of Cups energy. The 5 of Cups is, you know, sadness and grief and disappointment. It's like crying over spilled milk. And the Queen of Wands is telling you to be confident. Strut your stuff. Believe in yourself. Which energy do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the old, or do you want to be in the new? I mean, geez, I ask that question every single day. You know, confidence is built through experience. And I think sometimes people, you know, want to have sort of like all or nothing, you know, where it's like, I want instant gratification. I have to be in confidence right away. But confidence builds over time, right? So, you know, your spirit guides are really basically telling you right now, stop crying. And not there's anything wrong with crying, but you know, if it's happening all the time, it's consuming you, you're in constant disappointment, you're in constant grief, then you have to take a look at what's happening in your life and say, you know what, I need to do something different, because what I've been doing isn't working. It's time to build that confidence. And that can come through many ways. You know, a new hobby. This can come through exercise or working out, learning a new skill, reading a book that's been, you know, resonating with you, or you've heard about over and over and over again, and maybe you want to start a new reading journey. I don't know, whatever it is, but you've got to find some confidence and build it over time. Now, your spirit guide can lead you, but you can't. Why can't I read? You know, Mercury retrograde has just sort of like, you know, ended, and we're still in that post-shadow period. But every now and again, maybe it's the Virgo in me, the Mercury, your spirit guide can lead you, but you can't. Oh my God. Your spirit guide can lead you, but can't do it for you. Wow. So this is what I always say. I can't do it for you. Your spirit guides can't do it for you. You have to do it for you. And that's, again, you know, we want a quick fix. We want instant gratification. So let's see what we need to know about that. 2 of Swords. Are you in the old? Are you in the new? You have a decision to make. Are you going to do it, or are you going to wait for everybody else to do it? You know, I talk about this often. A lot of the times we sit on the fence and we're waiting for people around us to make decisions. You know, we wait and see what they're going to do. Are they going to choose us? You know, you know, I don't know. Are others going to stop asking us for favors? You know, this is what I always say. People don't wake up in the morning and go, you know, geez, I think I'm going to stop asking so-and-so for favors today. I'm going to stop pushing their boundaries. It requires you to stop it. So again, you know, are you willing to take the risk and make the boundary, or be in the new energy, you know, or are you going to sit and wait? The people who take the risk generally get the reward, you know? So let's see, always in motion, moving yourself forward. And there's victory. When you move yourself forward, you do get the victory. You do get the recognition. You know, do you ever notice the people around you that make the moves, and people say to them, wow, what have you been doing? Or there's something different about you. You know, it's because they're making moves, right? So let's take a look at the Intuit Oracle cards here and get some more messages. This is a very deep, introspective reading today. You know, I think it's a very self-focused reading. The Labyrinth. Okay, on Monday. So here's the thing. If you've been lost or delayed, or you're telling yourself it's too complicated, then you've got to sort of just make a decision and see what happens. You know, you've got to sort something out just by making a decision. You know, it's so hard sometimes to just make a decision. And again, it comes from fear. It just comes from fear. And how do you know what's on the other side of fear? Until you make the decision, until you take the steps, you don't. So how do you know it's not going to be the best thing that ever happened to you? Now, the Five of Swords is conflict, a headache. We talked about this. The biker is telling you to be a lone wolf, to stand up, to break the rules a little bit, enjoy the ride, love your freedom, move on. Okay, so Seven of Swords on Wednesday, we talked about that living your authentic truth. And we have here happening soon. It is happening soon. You can feel it. You can feel the changes happening. Now, that beautiful shift to that celebration. Yeah, shooting your shot. And I know that there's tension and there's anxiety in the shift, right? We fear what's next. But again, how do you know it's not going to be the best thing that ever happened to you? How do you know you're not going to celebrate and say, wow, oh my goodness, this is incredible. I'm so glad I did this. You know, I thank my lucky stars every day. Every day that I risked, you know, leaving my career and pursuing something that I love even more. It's been such a blessing. Okay. And here we go. It's time to roll the dice. Roll the dice for that brand new beginning, that tangible new beginning. And on Saturday, we talked about, do you want to be in that grief, that disappointment, that crying over spilled milk, or do you want to be in new confidence? You know, the next 6 to 9 months are going to be really important for you. And the full moon energy that we just had in Scorpio, extremely transformative, very emotional. You know, again, maybe you were feeling the grief. How many of you were feeling the grief with that full moon in Scorpio? Or you had the knowing that you had to let something go even though it really hurt, you know? But again, the next 6 to 9 months, and I want to remind you, I keep saying this, the next 6 months in particular, that's going to take us to, you know, the end of this eclipse season of that new moon. That's, well, we did have a new moon solar eclipse, pardon me. That new moon solar eclipse, it's going to lead us to the end of September. So very transformative time. And on Sunday, that decision of the Two of Swords, you're strong enough. Believe in yourself. And that sneak peek at the following week, you're going to go deep. You're going to go deep. But you know what? I want you to observe around you. I want you to have a desire to know. I want you to be curious. I do want you to self-reflect. I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you really want? Very important, okay? So, that being said, let's take some of these cards. I love these because they have like wishing vibes. Let's see. Magic eggs. Beginning something is exciting. This is what I was saying. How beautiful. Hope jar. I am full of hope and I take action. Keep moving. Hope is so important. Having hope that everything will get better, that every day is a new day, that you can experience the happiest times in your life. Love your body. Love yourself. What's something, tell me in the comments, what's something that you love about yourself? What do you love about yourself? That is so important. I know that we're not perfect. You know, we all have something that we're insecure about. But what do you love about yourself? For me, I love my smile because I know how contagious it is. And, you know, I mentioned to you earlier how important a smile can be. You know, even on top of that, I think of like eye contact, you know, showing interest in something, you know, connecting. Very important. And I think a smile can definitely do that. So that's something that I love about myself. So tell me something that you love about you. So I really hope this resonates with you. Quite a deep self-reflective reading today, but I send you so much love. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. As always, I appreciate the likes, the comments, the subscribes. Again, thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing week.